What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Something new for you guys. We actually have something I am super hyped for, and a format that I think I will really enjoy, and because I loved watching it, I loved keeping up with it, and I believe this season just ended for APA, and that's basically what this tiered format will be like, where we will draft 3 different times, and if we make playoffs, we will be able to make a team out of those 3 teams that we drafted earlier in the season. So the main goal is to make playoffs. Of course, it's win, but the main goal is to make those playoffs. Now, to put things into perspective, I had the number 2 pick, but I felt like everybody was going to try their best to build the tier 1s maybe and their higher tier megas this draft, and so I felt like I traded down from pick 2 all the way down to the bottom of the first round so that I could have the wheel and get a mon that I've been trying to get for so 2 mons actually I've been trying to get for so long and keep getting sniped of, because they're not mons I can take usually like when I have like an 8th pick, and they don't make it to me back when I get down to my next pick. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this draft. It's going to go in order that in tiers here, not in order that I picked them. We are going to go ahead and go with Keldeo as our tier 1 pick. Now, after I've been watching NCP Season 1, and I don't know if anyone here has kept up with that, but Keldeo was the MVP of that season. It had so many kills. I think it was like 22 and I want to say 6 or 7 or something along those lines, but wild. I've been wanting to use this mod for a while. It would have been a little bit smarter to go with Tapu Fini at the time that I picked this. It's a little bit more bulk, but I chose against it and went ahead and picked up Keldeo. It's just a really strong Scarfer. Or if their speed tiers are kind of whack, then I can even run this thing as a monster specs user as well. Nothing really wants to switch into this thing Secret Sword or Hydro Pumps. And it can run various other sets, as I do have tons of plans with this team. Just throwing off a couple things there. Now, one of the mods I was talking about that I really wanted to get for a long time. Literally since this mod was released, I've been trying to get this Pokemon, and it's never once made it to me. Zeraora. I finally got Zeraora. It's taken me this long to get it. I can't wait to use this thing. I have so many different options that I want to use with this thing. As this thing can run physical, special, bulky, whatever I want to run. Its speed tier is amazing, and I really love the speed tiers that I made with this team as well. Moving on. Tier 3, I knew I wanted to get a spinner, and I wanted to get a fairly decent steel type as well. And what I thought would be like around a budget pick or so is what I'm saying. I went ahead and got Fortress, as really I don't have too much of a fire weak team, so I'm a-okay with having this ×4 weak Fortress, as I do have quite a few switch-ins to the fire attacks. And this thing is just so versatile, being a spinner, being rock setter, spike setter, stealth, toxic spike setter if I wanted it to be any of those options. Now, another mod that I've been watching here recently that I've really enjoyed, like the way it's been used. I try and watch how other people use a mod and then try and put that into my own, what's the word for it, like a spin on it of my own. Kind of another budget pick in my opinion. I wanted to go in the lower tiers, because usually the higher tiers for this type that I'm about to tell you are always quad weak to something, specifically ice. It's Tyrantrum. I really wanted to get a solid dragon typing. This also gives me another stealth rocker if I wanted it to be. A very good dragon dancer, and overall just a great Pokemon. I don't have too much to say about that, as I've not really used it ever, but I just really wanted to try it out. Also, we have our budget fire type down here in tier 4 with Mortar. Watching Soham use this in PSL, I really enjoyed the way he used it. Excuse me. It can be run physical, special, it could be a sweeper, it can be just a extreme bulky mon. It doesn't have too much, what's the word I'm looking for? Support-wise moves, but it is just there as a much easier way for us to break through grass types for things like Keldeo or steel types for our later fairy Pokemon. So just a really big help against those. But let's go ahead and move on down to our budget grass type. We have Sawsbuck. Now, I drafted this thing specifically after watching Nick use this in, what was that? Let me see what season that was. It was LPL season 2 or 4, I think. I can't remember. It was one of the single seasons, and he really used the Sawsbuck in a very interesting way that I've never seen before, as I really don't like those lower tiered, like PU or NU or whatever this thing falls into. Now, watching A Drive use this so many times, he actually drafted this in APA as well, I believe. I think he even brought it to his playoffs. I forget. It's been a little bit since I watched those battles. Anyways, I've really wanted to try this Megas. I've tried almost all the Megas so far in draft, except for Mega Pidgeot. Another thing that Keldeo doesn't deal well with are those water, grass types, and steel types, and so Heat Wave, Hurricane, Spam from this Mega Pidgeot really helped that out, and I feel like I have some good switch-ins if this for electric type attacks with things like Zero Aura, even like Tyrantrum Fortress can eat those if it wants to. Then rock type attacks, Tyrantrum, Fortress, a couple mons later, and then also Ice. I'm not too weak to Ice with a couple of these mons here as well. I have a fair few amount of switch-ins to this thing's probable weaknesses. Now, another mon that I was trying to get for so long and was always sniped for me, I've never got a chance to use it, excuse me, is Sylveon. A very bulky wish support Pokemon, as well as Heal Bell. Can really help out the team here. Passing wishes into things that don't get very solid recovery, like Keldeo, Zero Aura, or even not having to run Roost on Mega Pidgeot would be such a help for the team. I don't have to run recovery, or for mons that can't get it, I can pass those fat wishes on from Sylveon, and it is such a good fairy type as well. Now, the last 3 mons I'll be picking up, almost all of these here are brand new to the teams. I've never once drafted any of these Pokemon you've seen here. The last 3 did fall to me in the lower rounds, and I said, okay, I kind of still need a ground type, as it's going to really help out Zero Aura, so he's not focused on him being the only electric switch in. And I need, again, something to break those steel types, possible fire types. So I went ahead and went with Mamoswine. You guys have seen this thing now, I think 4 times. I love using Mamoswine. I am terrible at building with Mamoswine. I feel like I'm good at using it, but I'm terrible at building with it, because it's like the Life Orb. The Life Orb set, I'll bring it when I need the Scarf Memo, and then the Scarf Memo I'll bring when I need the Life Orb Memo. But anyways, this mon failed to me so far, I didn't even think about it. I actually got sniped of Porygon 2, and I was about to draft it as another bulky mon. Even a Trick Room user if I needed it for whatever reason. If someone just has an extremely faster team than I do, and I can bring some of my slower Pokemon. So Porygon 2 got sniped like a pick before mine, and I'm like, okay, this sucks. What's left? And I'm looking, 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 and I'm like, huh. How Lucha fell to me in round 10. How Lucha fell to me in round 10. Now, I will tell you a little bit more of why I got some of these Pokemon here once I finish the full team, and I'll show you exactly what happened. Now, I'll come back to Hawlucha. So a dock mishap happened where Pokemon was picked a few days earlier in the draft, and I'm looking, I'm like, I could kind of use a bulky water type. So I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and pick up, what's the name of that? Jellicent. I feel like a second water really helps Keldeo not have to be my sole water type on the team. But the problem with that came down to it was already picked like 3 days before, but it was not updated on the dock. Now, I don't usually pay attention to all of the picks going down through the draft chat unless it's something that I specifically wanted, and I didn't really want Jellicent at that time, so I never really saw it get picked. Like when P2 got picked, that was obvious. I was wanting Porygon 2, and so it got picked like 2 or 3 picks before mine, and so I knew that happened. But now this one, I didn't see it because it happened a couple days before, and I was like, this sucks super bad. So I even made the pick of Jellicent, and we completed the draft and picked our Z-Move users, and then I got the message, hey, Jellicent was actually already taken, you have to drop it. I was like, okay, that sucks terribly. And so I'm at work, and I just make a quick pick with another Mon that we have seen many, many, many times against us, and that is Ditto. I love how giant his sprite is here. Now, Ditto we have seen so many times before, and there wasn't any bulky waters left in that tier. There wasn't a Mon that I really enjoyed using. Like, let's see. Let me find the tier Ditto is in real quick, just to show you what was kind of left. The dock is being super slow. There it is. So like the only bulky waters left would be Blastoise, which that probably would have been smart, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't really want it though. I didn't really like it when I had it in Ocean Season 2, I think that was. Golisopod, I don't like his ability, and I already have a very solid Spike Stacker if I needed it. Jellicent is still not marked off on the dock. Oh my god. I liked Lantern, but having another ground weakness I didn't think was very smart. And Ludicolo without rain is not the best. So I kind of was just like doubling up on typings if I chose some of these bulky waters here. So I chose against it. Oh, the thing that I said I was gonna, let me go back. So if you notice, there's a couple Mons going down through here that actually get the move. Hang on, let me make sure some of all these Mons get that. I don't remember if this one gets it. Just a second. It does not. Okay, cool. Just double checking. Notice that almost every Pokemon here either gets a form of... almost, not all, of course, not all. Either gets or abuses Baton Pass. Sylveon Baton Pass. I'm pretty sure even Hawlucha gets Baton Pass. Hawlucha Baton Pass. That's another reason why I wanted to pick it up. Sylveon, I think I already said that, Baton Pass. Sawsbuck gets Baton Pass. I think I've said them all already. Sylveon, Sawsbuck, Hawlucha. I think I said them all. Okay, cool. Then you have my Volt Switcher and Zeraora. My U-Turner and Pidgeot. Hawlucha even gets U-Turn as well. So that is going to be scary for the teams that play me. Having to wonder what I can Baton Pass into. I can... so I can do stats only, speed only, and no subs whatsoever. Or just free Baton Passing as well. So I get so many forms of ways that I can freely switch out. Or boost up some of my other Pokemon. Like, tell me what wants to take... Like, if someone doesn't have a ground type, what wants to take a Choice Banded Zeraora with, I don't know, however many bulk ups I can pass, or Swords Dances from Hawlucha, over into Zeraora. Tell me what team wants to take that. Anyways, guys, I cannot wait for this team. We will have this team for 4 weeks. Then we will draft a completely new team. We actually take on Nick in our first battle of this season, and I cannot wait to hopefully beat him down. I can't remember. I think I'm undefeated against him, but I could be wrong. I think I might have lost one time in the last season of LPL. I cannot remember, and that's fine. But Nick is one of my favorite people in the entire draft format. I love talking to him about Mons, and I think it's going to be really cool to be in a league with him again, as we haven't been in a league since LPL, the last season that it had. So if you guys are as hyped for this format and for this team that I got us, leave a like and a comment down below of what you think we're going to go with this team. So I'd like to know what you think. I'm hoping for a minimum of 2-2. I think that'll really help us pushing into playoffs. I feel like I can probably go 3-1. Hacks will have to be in our favor to go 4-0. I'm just gonna put it that way. But yeah, let me know down below how far you think we can go with this team. And I will see you guys in week 1. Peace out.